Hello beautifuls, my name is Epic Treasure, and this video tutorial today is to show you how to make this beautiful glass castle in the cherry blossom new expansion for Palworld. I hope you like what you see. If you do, come like, subscribe, hit the notification button, come join the Discord channel, link in the description below. So let us begin. What we're going to do first of all is have a look at the location exactly on the map. We're going to go through the dimensions of the floor plan, exactly where to build it, where to put the power box, and then we'll move on. So let us begin. Location-wise, looking at the map, we are at -604, then 231. Zooming out to get your bearings here. And making the building out of glass is not too difficult. Number one, you have to have in the technology tree the new glass feature unlocked, which is right over here, glass structure set, level 39 to be that. If you've been playing Palworld for a while, it's like you're already level 39. So jump into your technology tree and grab the glass structure set. The way that you build this building is literally just stone and paldium fragments. So the first thing that you want to do when you get to this area is you want to quickly make, unless you want to drag everything through the world, quickly make a stone quarry and also a crusher machine. So, and also a bed too. A bed would be nice and handy. Quickly sleep there because you'll be building this for a little while. So, first things first, make your stone quarry. Your stone quarry is in the production section. Stone pit, there it is. It uses 50 stone, 20 wood, and only 10 paldium fragments. This is one of the first things that you get in the game. So build that. That will allow your pals to collect stone. Then what you'll do is you'll build the crushing machine here, the crusher, which costs 50 wood, 20 stone and 10 paldium fragments. And what happens with this is that you'll go over to the machine, you'll say, I would like to have paldium fragments. You click on that, you click on Y for maximum, whatever it is, however many you want, or whatever, if you're on controller or PC, then hit as many as you want. So we'll just go 181, start production. So the things that you need to create that, if you don't know already, which I assume that you do, we need to get some minor pals in. So we'll just go get some of those in there to start working at that quarry. So we'll just go maybe put an Anubis there. And then we also need just one water person. It's going to just be the Relaxosaurus. And maybe a couple more Anubises, and they'll get to work over at the quarry. That's already going to be spinning, and then you'll have glass galore. We're going to do a lot of glass features in this build, but this one is a beautiful one. I'll take you through a quick run through this building. It is quite vast. Excuse my husky voice. I've not been well for a few weeks indeed. So this is purely glass and well laid out. The dimensions are 9 by 7. We've got the glass stairs. We've got some glass foundation. We're going to go through step by step, don't worry. And then just the glass flooring and roof. So here is a new door that they have. I think it works really well underneath. We can see all the water. We can see the cherry blossom petals flowing down. And as you can see, we go straight over to the water here. So let's have a look as we walk through the front. Walk through the front door, and that's the first view that we have. This beautiful cherry blossom tree that arches over to this beautiful stream there. You could remove some of this flooring so you have a better view of the water. So you could just get rid of these ones if you wanted to. So when you walk in, you have more of a view. You could also split it up so you have two different sort of wings to this building. Up to you, but we're going to start with the foundation and all those bits and pieces that you love. So this is a really beautiful one. We might run some stairs down into the water. They've done a really good job with these stairs now, and or you could even do a slanted roof going into it. That would also work too, potentially. They've got a new feature that's worked really well, and it is the pillars. So we have these. I think stairs would be better, actually. Stairs. So when I'm putting these stairs down, I'm just holding it there, and then I'm holding left trigger. So if I let go, it goes up, but if I hold it on there, it'll push it down. So left trigger, and then place it down. And again, the stairs, left trigger, place down. You might want to change this. You might want to have a little... I mean, that's excessive to have stairs like that, but you could have stairs and then go down to a little flat bit. But we'll have a look at that later. But I think that's a nice way to walk in the front door and be able to see all the water flowing. I think it's a really beautiful, framing, if you will. I didn't know which way I wanted this castle to go, but I knew because it's glass that you would see through it. And it was important to have something beautiful on the other side, on both sides of it. So here we have this beautiful mix of this green glass. It looks blue sometimes, coupled with the beautiful cherry blossoms. And don't worry about the fighting going on over there in the background. So let us begin with this build. I hope you enjoy it. As I said, if you do, please like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the content with many more builds to come your way. Don't forget to check out the Ultimate Farm build. There's another new one coming, which includes all of the new content. And yeah, we're going to increase our farm so it's much more effective. So on with the show. So having a look at our foundation, this is exactly where we're going to put it. And having a look at our coordinates, it's minus 604 to 31 in this exact spot. We're going to have a little fly over so you can see what it looks like from this position. Jump up on Jet Dragon. And it's in this really cool little body of water just in front of the Moonflower Tower in the new area, which is really pretty. There's so many cherry blossoms here. There's so many locations that you can build that are just so beautiful. But I love this one. There's a few flowing streams, but because I wanted to build with glass, I needed to make sure that it was on flat land and would look really good, and make sure that the background would look nice, seeing straight through the glass. So this is a good spot to put your PAL box. Obviously, you can move it around. All we're going to be using today is literally just glass, and glass in the game is just made with stone and palladium fragments, and that's it. So another thing that you want to do is obviously build a bed that's so you can just sleep at night, just so it's easier to see. So the little stone pit there is one that you want to put down in the crusher there. That will allow you to make the glass. That's the only ingredients that there are in the glass, which makes it so much easier and so much user-friendly. And you know how hard I've been pushing them to make the possibility of building with glass. So I was very happy to see that indeed. So as for your pals, grab a couple of Anubises out, and one that puts water out too, because we need that crusher to be spinning to create those palladium fragments from those stones from the quarry. So grabbing that there, and just making as many as you want, and Bob's your uncle. So that's just going to be kept being made while you are out and about. In the technology tree, it is level 34 to unlock your glass. And you should probably have that by now, I would think, but it's certainly something to aim for. And what we want to do is line this up so it runs perfectly with the mouth of that waterfall down there. So we're going to kind of keep this sort of straight. And as I said before, we can move the PAL box at any time. It's very generous area, so we're going to have all different sort of farming aspects, I think, to this build. It's kind of hidden throughout all of the cherry blossom trees. So here we just want to have it nice, lined up, perfect and straight. Now the cool thing is that they do have pillars now, and that allows you finally to build over water. Thank God for that, because you know that I only found that area where you could build happily on water without pillars. Now you can basically build, within reason, depending on how deep the water is, over water. No worries. So the dimensions of this build is 9 by 7. It's a relatively big castle, not as big as our other one that we did in the stone, but this glass castle is going to be quite magical. This tutorial that's step by step is going to go through every part of it. We'll start with the floor, then move on to the walls, and then we'll move on to the roof. And there's a few different changes that you can make with the roof. Now with these cherry blossom trees, if you like where they're growing, you can keep them there, right? As long as you don't have a character that chops trees, I guess, then you'll be good. But if they're blocking your space where you're building, you can just chop them down, build, and then after you build, just remove that foundation piece so that tree can grow back again, and then you can put the foundation piece back over the tree once it's fully grown. So with this, and whenever you're building on water, you can sometimes build with foundation, and most of the time obviously you want to build with the stone roof, because it doesn't have all of the sort of metal inside, as you can see. The glass roof just allows it to be more transparent. So with this, especially building over water, it looks much better. But usually when you're building over trees, it's going to be the foundation that will allow you to build, for some reason, allow you to build sort of through the trees. So we're going to sort of chop a few trees down here and there, but getting the dimensions right is the most important part. I just wanted it centered. I mean, with Palworld, as we know, nothing's ever going to be exactly the same. So yours might be a little off. You might have your foundation reaching further over into the water. You might want it more into the water. You know, just adjust as you go. The cool thing is with this game that once you do break up materials, you get 100% of them back. And a lot of games don't let you do that. They might give you only half back even. So this is the use of the pillars here. If you can't build over the water, definitely grab your pillars and try and put them in a place where it allows you to finally put that glass roof down. Sometimes the foundations will click in. Sometimes a roof will click in instead. So it's just trial and error and seeing where those squares can happily fit. Sometimes you might have to build a few squares around the outside first and then build inward. But here we are, Bob's your uncle, no problem at all. There's absolutely beautiful water here. It's such a pretty place that they've added on to this incredible game, and I'm so thrilled with that. There's a lot more sort of plans and a lot more technology that they've unlocked too. Including crude oil and all sorts of wild stuff, so it's going to be fascinating. So as you can see, we can put the pillars here and there. Do what you can, and it won't work all the time, and sometimes it will. Sometimes you'll get lucky. So what I will end up doing with this is, you saw at the start that I have this sort of beautiful framed open area when you walk through the castle. And I think I didn't plan that at the start. You know that usually when I build, it's happy accidents, and this is certainly one of those times. You know, I didn't know how this glass would work out or anything like that. So at this point, you're going to come across the sort of inability to put your glass down, which is fine. It's worked out well in the end anyway. So here, trying to see if I could put a foundation piece down instead, because sometimes you can get lucky, sometimes not. And here it's too deep for that pillar to go down, which is fine because you'll end up seeing me working on that really well. So let's have a little flyover and have a look at the dimensions again. It is 9 will be 9 by 7. And that will be really nice. So we've got 2 more ends to add on, width-wise. So the front of the castle is where our paddle box is. So we're going to add a strip onto one side and a strip onto the other side to make it 9. 9 wide, 7 deep. So whenever we want to have a nice middle front door, you know that it's going to have to be an odd number. So it even on the left and the right, and then that odd number is that middle point, that front door. So then we're going to go across the other side and we're going to build this strip across the other side to make it 9. Hope you've been doing well too. There's a few other builds I've got in mind already. I've been working on the farm a little bit. It takes a lot to level up. It's a lot easier if you're in a group, but I'm by myself in this game, so it does take a little bit longer. But that's what it looks like. Now you might have those 2 squares filled up because you might have pulled your building back a little bit, but I wouldn't worry about it at all. You just have to adapt and change, and you'll see at the end of this how beautiful it worked out, and for the better, I think. So let's move on with the next part, and we'll get onto the front of the build, and we'll do the front door and the frontage of the whole property. So jumping up to find the exact middle spot for our front door, we're going to do some weed whacking of the trees too. As beautiful as they are, they're going to be infiltrating places we don't want them to. But we want our front door to run perfectly in line with that beautiful waterfall at the end. So time to get a bit of a weed whacking on. There's going to be a lot of that in this area just because there's a lot of cherry blossoms. So grab your wood, chuck it in the box. Keep a box very handy and close by when this happens. And then we'll move on with that. And we're going to do the traditional way that I like to do the castle, where we have the front door. We don't have double doors, but just the front door and then the recessed part, and then the part that comes out again, and then the recessed part and the end. So that looks beautiful already. The glass is just stunning. Now they've fixed these stairs up, so when we want the stairs to come down towards us, we can hold the left trigger down. They've made it quite impressive anyway. So the front door we put there, and then we start to do those recessing moments. So doing the front door, putting the glass wall going backward, and one at the back flush. And then up, this is 2 levels high. Then for the taller parts, we're going to make them 3 levels high. So 1, 2, and then third one here. Okay, and on this one we're going to do the windows because it's nice to change it up a little bit. It's just a bit too boxy to have it any other way. So again, when it comes to the windows, it's always going to be 3. Again, some more weed whacking. After we weed whack, like I said before, we can chop that foundation away and then let the tree come back through and put the foundation over the tree again, and it'll look beautiful. So again, 3 high. This other tree is infiltrating the space again. It's interesting how little the little foliage parts can interfere with the build. But they do it. Oh, they do it. This dude's just having the time of his life. Don't forget to check the other guides out too with this, which will include all of the egg locations, etc. And there are a few large dragon eggs around too. So once you get chopping, make sure you get your grapple gun on and then zoom on over, not too hard, and then just dump off your stuff in the box. It's right next to you. I've got boxes all around me all the time, just because I don't want to run back, especially when you're over encumbered. So back to business now. This tree is gone. We're going to do 3, 1, 2, 3 high. And then we're going to go around the corner, and then we're going to do the 3 high again with the glass wall. 1, 2, 3. Right, Then we're going to do the recess part again, and that's going to be 2 high. And then because this is an end, you know how I like it, the ends are always tall. They're always the main feature of the side of the castle. So again, 3 high with the window. Sometimes I often don't do ones with windows on the edges, but today I thought, why not? So the same on this side, again, asymmetrical. I think we're going to do a lot of different types of builds that are not so symmetrical. We'll do ones that are asymmetrical, a little bit more interesting ones indeed. But for castles, you kind of want them to be, nice and neat and tidy, especially when they're glass, especially when they're in a beautiful location like this. Nice, neat, tidy. Check. So again, more weed whacking, and then we'll move on with the walls here. We need to weed whack this one perhaps too, we'll see. Yes, we will. But again, we can remove the foundation, and this goes for any part in the game where you're like, oh, I really want those trees back. You can have them back as long as they're not in a spot that you don't want them. Like if they're on a veranda type of thing like this, it's beautiful. And when I did the tutorial how to build your town, people asked, how do you get the trees to stay there? After you build your town, you just remove all of the walkways and then just sleep for a couple of days. The trees grow back, and then you can just put a foundation and the trees stay there. So we'll break that up so the tree can come back, and then we'll continue with this build. So again, we're doing a 1, 2, 3 high wall. And sometimes it can be a little bit finicky with the height of it. And then we've got 2 high. Then again, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do the windows again. Exactly the same as the other sides, just basically mirrored. And then 1, 2, 3. And I really wish, like my new wish that I want for this game is for them to have lights that you can change the hue of, like in Grounded. In Grounded, they've got these little, any of the lights in Grounded, you can change the hue literally to any colour that you want, which is great. I would love it in this game, my God. So we'll see. See if I hound them enough. See if I get other people to hound them enough. We're going to do the side walls now. At the moment, we're just going to make them plain, just glass, but obviously as this build grows, we'll have access to the sides of the building, etc., that might have really nice glass pathways that lead to different areas, which is very cool. I think that would look nice. You've got to chop this big tree down. There's so much weed whacking. Don't forget, in this area there's meteors that come crashing down, and special pals can drop too that you can capture. So make sure you always have your fancy pal balls on you to capture them, and be vigilant because they disappear kind of quick. So again, this one here, just a flat wall, and then we're going to do the same all the way to the end. And we're going to have to do some more weed whacking. All right, back to building, flat wall and up. And get on there. Click. It's just, I'm just so happy with these colours, having this sort of greeny sort of teal coupled with this pale pink. It's just beautiful. So remember, this is the end. This is going to be the 3 high one again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do the glass, black glass here. 1, 2, 3. And then the 2 high one. But we're going to remove a chunk of this to make it beautiful and open later on. But You can change it as you go along if you want it to be more enclosed, and for sure go nuts. So it's nice to have that option. I like to see more of the water because it's the kind of point to build over it. But there's, like I said, there's some streams in this game, some beautiful watery, like rapids. Oh, to have your building over that, to look through the flooring of that is just beautiful. And don't forget, if you do build a bit higher, so for example, if you've got foundations around the outside and then have the glass flooring, then you could put your light underneath it, whether it be a cauldron or a cooking pot thing. Seeing the flames underneath through the glass is really cool too. So many nice effects that you can have. And mixing and matching too, having wood and glass, or I wouldn't say metal and glass because I do not like the metal in this game. Certainly the cobblestone and glass is a nice combo too, I think. Can be beautiful. So when I did a stream earlier today, we visited the snow and I changed a bit of the roof there. So the roof was half glass. So it was just absolutely stunning. So many different little features. So certainly with your builds, just go back to your bases and change things up with the glass. It's going to look beautiful. I was a bit hesitant at first when I saw the green glass. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. But it is really nice. So I think I picked a really nice spot for this. This is probably my favourite tree that I've ever seen here. And there is the mushroom area, but we'll see what we do there. I think we might do maybe a cobblestone glass duo or something like that. I really kind of hope they have the ability to have sort of cylindrical type of roofs, like in Grounded. They are curved roofs. I think they're really cool. And I'm a little bit disappointed the lack of furniture they have in this expansion. I would have thought that they would have had more of those, maybe more curtains. Just, general furniture would be really nice. But I can't complain because I got my glass, and that's really the thing that I was vying for the most. So here we've got the entire exterior done. We're going to move on to do the roof, which is pretty straightforward. In the past, the roofs that I've done have been quite unusual and fiddly. That was thanks to chat because they had the genius idea of changing the roof up to have a middle feature, which we are going to do in this one, but it's not that complex. So you might want to pause it here just to make sure you've got all of your details correct. Remember those two missing parts at the end. It's just where where the depth of the water is, where I can't put foundation, and I don't need it there anyway. But you might have it there, and if you've got it there, leave it there until you want to change it. So next we're going to have a look at doing the roof and building all around the perimeter of that. This is pretty straightforward. It's just going to be putting a cap on the top of it and then just finishing off on the walls. So we're going to have to climb along here, put the cap there, then put the floor here and jump across, and then rinse and repeat and just close everything off. So having a look from the side, we're just going to keep on building and building and building, climbing up to where we just were with that double bit of the roof, and then continuing on with the flat roof as we go around the whole part. So 1, 2, we're going to put a cappy thing on top of that one, and then we're going to close it off with a glass wall. Around the inner perimeter of this build, we're going to have a flat roof also. I've made this build wide enough so it can accommodate that. The last time I tried this, there wasn't a wide enough area from the get-go, so I made this one a bit wider, which is nice. So again, cap on the roof, wall there, and then continuing along with the flat roofs just so it's nice, neat, flush and beautiful. And you could, you know, go from the inside of the building when you start to decorate and have staircases, etc., winding up there, all the way up to the roof if it tickles your fancy. It's going to be interesting in regards to how you decorate inside this, because you're going to see everything. You're going to see the backs of fireplaces. You're going to see the backs of bookshelves. So it's important to be mindful about what the other side of things look like, especially when there's just glass everywhere from ground to the roof. So let's just have a little sleep over here because it's starting to get a bit dark, and it's much easier to see in the daylight. Off we go back to work again. It's looking good. It's looking pretty complete already in record time. And we'll continue on this pathway to do that sort of run on the outside of it. So again, the roof, click it in, make the cap on the next roof after that bit, and then put the glass wall there and close her off. Continue on to the next part, the glass roof flat. Now this one we will put there, jump across, and we'll connect the roof over there later because we can't right now. And then again, close it off and then put our flat roof down, and then we're going to put our wall there, and then we actually have to put a wall just here gingerly, there we go, and then have the flat roof up here, and we're just out of the perimeter, so we're missing that little dot of perimeter. So again, we're going to use our floor, put it around the outside again, and then we're going to have that middle part to give that sort of elevation that we've had in the castles previously. It's going to be interesting. So that sort of looks like from beyond. We're going to run back up here, and then we're going to jump up and complete the roof. You know how much I dislike doing the roofs. They're just not very fun. So we're going to build this part up. We're going to do it too high, so that all that center part is still empty. Whoopsies, we'll clean that up later. And again, over here, 1, 2, and then up too high. Nice and neat. Another one there, and another one there. And we might change this in a moment too. We'll see how it looks. See how she fares. And we're going to close this bit off, I think. Let's just complete this and make sure it's not too long. Not too long and rectangular. We jump across here and finish this one off too. It's nice and neat and uniform. 1 there, 1 there, up, up, and then we'll start to put that glass roof there, because I think it's going to be too long if we make it that another tier to be a bit too long. Yeah, that's nice. That's not too bad. It's very hard to make it not look like a hospital sometimes. Just make it look less boxy. So we might shape the end of that second tier a little bit so it's 3 across and then down again. We'll see. We'll see. That might be good. So we'll close this one off. We'll just suss her out first. Close it off. Finish that bit off here. Yeah, we'll go across here and then continue on. Putting those walls there, and then putting those flooring pieces there because it's too long otherwise. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. And then finishing that bit off too. And then finally being able to build and connect these ones in the middle off. We need to put the caps on the roof though first. So we'll do the roofing. 1, 2. I'm so happy that the resource value is just so user-friendly. You know, it wasn't some crazy collect all these super rare things to build a glass house. I would have done it, but I'm glad they made it easier. So back here, now we can put the roof that goes down because we have the roof itself on, and we can put one down there to connect that to. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky. And then we can put our glass roof there to connect it in totality. So let's have a little bit of a run around and see what that looks like. It's beautiful and just so airy inside to have that feature. And we'll see what other features that we can add to it to make it a little bit more interesting for sure. So let us move on to fine-tuning it. What we'll do is we're going to, as I said before, just shape it a little bit. Instead of having just a full bang rectangle, we're going to make the ends only 1 level high. So the end's going to be 1 level high with a roof cap across there. And then put the walls up. 1, 2, and then do the same on the other side. So it's a little bit less boxy looking, as you can see now through these trees. We can see that it's not this big chunk anymore. It has some shape to it, which is really cool. It'd be nice if you had butterflies in the game. You could put butterflies in the roof, kind of like you can do with the bees in Minecraft. So chop, 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 only 1 level high. We're going to get our rooftops and we're going to get our walls. So glass roof, click, click, and then put our glass walls there. 1, 2. Done. So now we've got our shaped, I don't know what you'd call it, shaped centerpiece. So it's nice, beautiful, and symmetrical. I think it looks stunning. So what we're going to do is have a look at the scene, going through the front door to look at the back, and breaking all of this up so it's like a big, beautiful painting. So let's role play, action, walking through here. Is this big enough? I think we could make it a bit bigger. So I'm going to take some walls out just to get that full shot of the cherry blossom tree. And I'm going to leave that lip monk effigy there too because I just think it looks nice. Nice little contrast to the cherry blossom tree. So I reckon we're going to take a couple more walls out, 1 on each side, and then open that up so it's a totally open area. I mean, you could totally enclose it with glass, but I like it open. I mean, it depends on if you have raids set on or not. I've got mine turned off. But I mean, if you've got enough pals, then you're not going to really have a problem anyway, are you? So, things that you can do here. You can run some stairs running into the water if you wanted to. You could have stairs going down to a flat piece of like a glass roof down there, and little tables and chairs down there if it tickles your fancy. You could do that. Or you could just have it open, but I just think it looks so beautiful. I love how all of the water is just splashing everywhere when you look there. And you could also remove some of these, like bang, 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 so you have more of a view of the water. I reckon we need to take this right-hand side out because it feels heavily unbalanced to me. So let's remove all that because we need to. So just break it. And even the sounds of the glass breaking, I find is quite calming in a sad, weird kind of way. Jump and break. And then we'll just break this or break this. And don't worry, you get all your materials back. Look at it. It's just like moving art. And what we'll do, I reckon, is bring these walls out so they don't jut inwards. We'll just have them, you know, like flush. I think that's going to be the go. So we're going to break you, I'm going to break all that bit. And then that should open up even more. This one, I'm going to do jumpy jump, break stuff. And we'll pick up all that stuff later. And then we'll just run back and see. We totally opened it. But that looks beautiful. I love it. Now, what you could do, you could split it down the middle too. Or you could have a pool little area on the side. A little drop pool there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fiddle-fat around too much. Just a tutorial how to make it in the first place. But we will definitely bring this wall out because it's kind of pointless where it is now. It's like, you're blocked from actually going in there. So we're going to bring this wall out and bring it like this and then build it upwards. So it's going to fit something in it that's useful. And then we might get rid of these walls too. It's so nice. I just love the glass in this game. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Get rid of that wall, push it out and have it nice and rectangular instead of this sort of weirdo little alcove. So break, break, break. Put you there and put you there and there. And then put the roof on there. Oopsie. Yeah, that's it. Too high. Okay, break that. And our little roof. Click. That looks really nice. Except for these plants coming through. A lot of people are triggered by them. They don't like them. You could always elevate the foundation more if it's triggering. I quite like the flowers coming through. We'll just clean up this mess that's left here that we don't need anymore. And like I said before, you can have beautiful staircases inside that lead up to that roof to have it multi-level. But it's I think, the most beautiful location in the new area. I think it covers everything. It covers moving elements, which is the waterfall there. You've got an absolutely stunning cherry blossom tree there. We're over the water. If you look down through the glass, you can see the water there. You can see it moving there. There's a lot of plant life moving. We can add a lot of these new pillars as features that will snap onto edges of things. You could have them in the middle of the building. I think having them in the middle of the building looks a little bit too 90s, so I don't want to do that. But we can have them at like an entrance, for example. And then we can have all the dividers in the room with glass, etc. But indeed, be very mindful of the furniture that you do use because you're going to see the back of it. And I think that's something to pay attention to indeed, because filling the place with too much, it might not look that attractive. But right now it is just so beautiful and stunning and just really delightful. It's quite delightful. Just the colour palette is beautiful. We've got that pastel-y, well, it's a green, but in certain times of the day it's a beautiful pastel blue. And then we've got this pastel pink there, and then there's the purple flowers there that you see around. Here's another thing that you can do. You can put two sort of more points on top of the roof if you want to, to change it up a little bit, if you want it even higher and crazier, which I'll probably end up removing, but let's just see what it looks like anyway. In case you do like it, you might not. You just remove it. Another cool feature is utilizing light sources in the game. So, for example, the cooking fire can be quite handy when it comes to lighting things, especially with glass, because it can illuminate the interior of buildings. But indeed, you have to be quite mindful because the glass in this is highly reflective. So you could have one little fire in there and it's going to be bouncing, image all over the place. So be very mindful of that. But I'm not, look at my reflection as I'm climbing even. So you have to be very mindful about what you put in there. Otherwise it can look quite messy, I think. And I'd be very mindful of the colours that you use too, because it could make it look quite messy, and it could be quite amazing if you use the right combos, I guess, if you will. Though they haven't given us a lot of diversity when it comes to furniture, that's for sure. They've given us a lot of, bookcases and cabinets and stuff, but, we've got only one curtain. We've got red curtains, and that's it, as far as I know, besides the bath curtain. And don't mind me glitching out here right now. Let's move on with the ending part. So here we have the beautiful castle in the new area for Palworld. Beautiful rolling waterfall there. And don't forget, if you find that the trees are too nuts, then get your axe out and get chopping. Chop some down. You can put a little bridge across here too, a nice little glass bridge. I think that's what I'm going to do with most of this as we lead this property to the depths of its perimeter, which is beyond into all those cherry blossom trees. I think we will utilise glass bridges and glass pathways, and I think that's going to look beautiful. But it's such a lovely, like I said, a really lovely colour palette. I hope you enjoy, like I said. If you do like it, come like and subscribe, hit the notification button, and don't forget to come join Discord channel. And I love and leave you. Have an amazing day or night whenever you're watching this. And thank you, as always, for your support.